when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy.
What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Nightcap. We're doing this every Monday through Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're bringing you some of the most important market news, as well as technical analysis that sets you up for tomorrow. And today's show is going to be filled with all kinds of news, and we got a really big day coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about that here in a bit, but I don't do this alone. I got to bring up the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, F.D. White.
Got my theme song on.
You know
That's right.
it. You know it's coming. Let's do it. How you doing, man?
Oh, I can't complain, man. I'm a little tired today. My son had a little back to school event, so we was out. You know, it was well worth it though. So back to the charts, man. Luckily, Bitcoin didn't go to 70K while I was out, so that's a good thing.
Nice, nice. Yeah, whew, man. AVAX is pumping right now, man. I was in a long on that, and then I took a short on it, got wrecked on that. So I did good on the long. Then I took a short because it hit resistance, got wrecked on that. So ended up about even. And then it pumped through
Yeah.
the roof, and we got some news to talk about here. That's coming up, so definitely gonna talk about that. But let's get over to the chat. Let's see who we got going on in here. Crux of Crypto's in there. He said, yo, what's up? He's tuning in from his dinner table. I said, I'm serving it up, baby. Let's go. I hope it is delicious. Army Piper's in here. Let's go. Alex, oh, Crypto, I'm keeping it PG, baby, but let's go. Retro Mike Tech, as always, our old faithfuls in here. You know what? I was just thinking about, we are talking about Mike today, and we're like, apparently he's really good with like mining and
Yeah.
you know, talking about those things. So I was like, oh, let's get him on the show.
Yeah.
Let's get on the show, man. Mike, open invitation, brother. Let me know. Hit me up. All right. Amy lives crypto. Orange Hearts, as always. How are you? We just had a discussion as well. You know, so always trying to get her over to the channel, want to bring some more of the content over there. But we love working with her, and she's got a great channel. So go over there, check it out, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff for Alex O as well, and Retro Mike Tech. I mean, half of the people in here are content creators, which is kind of funny. The support is just overwhelming. So it's awesome. We're all family. You know, I really thought at some point like it was going to be like a dog eat dog kind of world, and like it's really not. Like we're all kind of like in it together. I mean, you got your outliers that kind of do their own thing,
Yeah.
but for the
It
most
seemed like we
part,
got our nice little. It's not even little. It's really a big community,
yeah.
a big circle of content creators that are coming together and building something. We got some fire stuff in the works, so stay tuned.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, BC Porcorp talking about family. He's part of the show as well. Him and LBC, they are tuning it up over there on LBC's channel right now, getting all prepped and making their move over to the Piper Academy. Can't wait for that. Nikki B, hi, waving back to you. Alexander G, best mod in the house. How you doing? Much love to you. Dave Roy, howdy, how you doing, man? Andy Rock Crypto. My man, nightcaps as good as morning caps, man. I'll get in trouble if I do that stuff, man. All right. Let's see. Trade Intuition Joe, he was on the show this morning. Awesome. Love having him on as well. Again, another content creator doing good stuff, man. He's growing too. Looking at your views, looks like you're getting a steady growth of views there. So congratulations, man. Keep grinding, man. Keep grinding. Got to keep pushing out that content. All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and get into our first bit of news today. And that is just kind of what I mentioned. Grayscale is launching an investment fund for AVAX token. So if you guys are wondering why is AVAX pumping, now you know. All right. So, hey, AVAX might be a play. It was down pretty it was pretty good, and it was at a really important area of support. I pointed that out
Mhm.
probably, I don't know, I say a week or so ago on the morning show, and I was like, hey, take a look at AVAX just because of where it was at on the chart. But now everything else is catching up with where it was at on the chart, right? Now we got some good, like, like business aspects to this. And I've always been bullish on AVAX. It's one of my big ones. Like, when I was talking, like, am I going to be Captain Jack Matic or should I go with AVAX? That was kind of my struggle there. I went with Matic. I might regret that. But AVAX is looking good. It does have a lot of great deals in place. I would urge for you to just do your research, go over and start looking at some of the deals that they do have in place. And you're going to see there's a lot of good, like big retail giants. It also kind of feeds into the gaming narrative. I will say a couple years ago, my big thing when I was talking about crypto, everyone was like, well, there's no utility. I said, well, just wait. I think there's going to be some utility in gaming. And I think that's going to be the first bit of hotness. And there was a little bit of that, but it seems to kind of wane and kind of faded off a little bit with NFTs. But I still think there's a play there. I think that you
Oh, yeah.
can exchange currency within games, and I think crypto can kind of fit the bill there. So that
Mhm.
was kind of my logic when I was thinking about where can we find true utility. But cool. Let's see what else do we got here on the news. This is going to be a little bit political. We'll run through this really quick, but there is rumors, speculation that RFK may endorse Mr. Donald Trump for the president. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. I know there is going to be a discussion tomorrow, I believe. And so that might actually be the day he does it. And with that, we're going to just keep on riding the old Trump train here. He is teasing a new DeFi crypto project. All right. So he's talking about it. It is going to be called the Defiant Ones, which apparently has already garnered over 31,000 subscribers. It's going to be some hotness, apparently. We'll see. The one thing you won't have to worry about is Trump's probably not going to rug you. So go take a look, see at that one. And look at this. You want to talk about a swing? Like, look at this, man. So now, I don't believe these polls anyways, but we're going to talk about it because that's what we do here. He is now up. He was down 10 points, and now he's up. He's at 53% to 46%. That's kind of wild. So we'll see. I think it's going to be a weird election. I know there's going to be a lot of bickering about who stole the election, yada, yada, yada. Who freaking knows? It's been happening since, you know, voting started. All right, just so you
Yeah.
guys know, like voting fraud has always been a thing. Just it's part of life, unfortunately. I wish there was a good way to kind of filter through, and I thought like the electronic stuff was actually kind of supposed to fix that, right? But when they started saying, hey, you don't have to have identification to vote, well, that made things a little bit weird in some places. So yeah, man, that's what I got for the news today. What do you got, man? What do you think about AVAX, man? Do you think that's going to be a good, maybe a long-term investment, kind of a hodl position that you can take on AVAX? What's your feeling
You
on
know
that?
what, man? You know what? I gotta, every week I gotta pat myself on the back for something. So I'm gonna pat
Uh-oh.
myself on the back for AVAX. If you go back on my TikTok, if you're not following me on TikTok, make sure you follow me on TikTok at FD White Invest. I told everybody to load the truck up during the bear market on AVAX at around $8 or $9. The proof is there. You can go back around 2020. I think it was the beginning of 2023. So I put a lot. Well, I didn't have a whole lot, but I put a nice little amount into AVAX. So before I went out of town, so we're looking pretty good. And like you said, the gaming sector. I know Alex Becker is always talking about
Yeah, he
AVAX,
is.
and he's a big gaming guy. So if the gaming narrative comes back around, I think it will. I don't know if it's going to be big like last cycle, but in a bull run, man, these narratives, it jumps from narrative to narrative. All it's going to take is for somebody like Apple or Meta or somebody to say they're releasing a crypto game, or somebody huge Activision or something to say they're releasing a crypto game, and the whole sector is going to explode. So that's just how it works. We're still in the speculation phase of crypto, so all it takes is some giant news, and the whole sector will take off. They do have some, like gaming does have some games that are being built that are looking pretty nice, and I'm definitely invested in a couple.
Yeah, right on, man. That's good to hear, man. I've been getting more and more bullish on AVAX. I might start hopping on that train.
Hmm.
Not gonna shill it, but I'm probably gonna throw some money into it here soon, actually. And it's something that I'm probably gonna hold a little longer. I've kind of been DCAing on the way down.
Mhm.
But now I think it's going to be more of a hodl.
Okay.
That being said, we got a couple more that just joined the chat. Got to give a little shout out to Caffeinated Crypto. How you doing, my guy? I think we said Dave Roy, and then
Mhm.
Wix Wife Fine 89. You know I like to rhyme. All right, who else? Army Pie. Oh yeah, so he just dropped in there. I think we are 4 away. So if you guys are in the chat right now, and I'm gonna be honest, I think everyone in the chat right now is probably subs because half of you have logos. But if you're not, or if you're just watching this for the first time, get us up to the magic number. We're looking for 6K subscribers. Let's hit that tonight. We would truly, truly appreciate that. All right, you guys know what's next. It's time to sound the alarm. Elmer Fudd is in the house, baby. All right, so this one's going to be pretty quick. Spot Ethereum ETF's record longest outflow streak amid drying investments. Poof. All right. So, it doesn't look like it's doing as well as Bitcoin. All right.
Mhm.
So they're having outflows on the ETF, and we've kind of talked about that a little bit. I'm not gonna say I don't see the utility because I see the utility. That's probably the wrong choice of words, but I don't really understand, like, anyone that understands crypto or is in crypto is probably not going
Mhm.
to use the ETF or purchase Ethereum through the ETF because there's better means and you can stake it, and they'd probably rather just physically own it, right?
Right.
um but it does give more exposure, and that's good and that's cool and all, but the thing is too right now is that price is kind of pulling back, and I'm not going to say it's a cascading effect, but as the price is pulling back, it's kind of scaring people off, I think, and people,
Yeah.
it's just going to continue to have a little bit of a sell off based on that. And
Mhm.
then, per the norm, I think, institutions will come up and buy a little bit, but I don't think it's the same as Bitcoin when I say that, because
Mm.
you got to think about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is that long term play, and Bitcoin has that finite number. All right. So it's a little bit different the way that it's set up, and its implementation. Right. So I don't know that the hunger from the institutions will be there as much as it is for Bitcoin. Just knowing that finite supply is really going to drive up the actual price of Bitcoin later on. Right. That's just the
Mhm.
way it works. So yeah, man, what do you think, man? How you feeling about Ethereum? Is that something that you're interested in
Oh
jumping
yeah.
on, or what's
Oh,
what's your feeling there?
I've been a Ethereum bull since late 2020. So that's been the thing that I was DCAing in all 2021. So I like Ethereum. I think Ethereum's gonna do well. It's a lot of more blockchains and a lot of more like I said, chains doing the same thing now. So the market share is gonna be spread out as opposed to like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just Bitcoin. And then another thing is, like you said, like people in crypto are not going to be buying crypto through ETFs or buying ETF cryptos. So the people who are going to be buying these ETFs are the people who a lot of them, these old people, no offense, boomers rather, they're going to be, they probably haven't even heard of Ethereum. They're like, what is that? Like
Yeah.
they know Bitcoin, they probably heard of Bitcoin,
Yep.
so they're a little bit more you know, risk averse to it. But when it comes to
Yeah.
Ethereum, they probably never even heard of Ethereum. So it's something that they
I'm
have to
telling you.
sell. They have to sell to you. They have to sell to the consumer and see if it works. And then, a lot of people still scared of crypto. Like when crypto starts going down, a lot of people still think it's gonna go to zero. So they're pulling their money out as fast as they're putting it in. So it's just something that has
Yeah.
to grow with time.
And I mean, we saw a little bit of this with Bitcoin too. We had that pullback after the ETF, and we were like, I know I was in there, be like, "Welcome to crypto." I know you guys are excited to be here, dumpsy doo. And then all of a sudden, it got its bounce, and here we are.
Yeah.
So you might see a little bit of that with Ethereum as well. But yeah, dude, I totally agree. I think that's one of the key aspects. People don't know ETH.
Yep.
Not outside of your general, like, people that are kind of spun up on investing in crypto.
Yeah.
If I were to throw that out to the common person, they're gonna know, like you said, Bitcoin and Doge.
Dogecoin.
Like
Yeah.
that's like the two that
Yeah.
people
That's it.
always know. Like, and
Like, we think Ethereum is old, like, we're kinda, like, past it. A lot of people who've been in crypto are, like, past Ethereum. We're looking at new things, but the average sometimes we gotta get out of our echo chamber and step out of our little niche community and really realize what's going on, and really realize how small we are. We are really a small percentage of people in the world who are really just hell bent on cryptocurrency, so That's why we have so much more room to go.
Right on. And there's Retro Mike Tech on key, baby. He says better than ETH, or ETH is better than Cass. So he is a Cass hater. I'm telling you, man. That's you know what? We're gonna get you on, dude, and we're gonna let you just vent. Once we get to the nightcap part of the show, we're just gonna let you go off on Cass. I'm really interested to see what you got to say. All right, cool. Who else? We got any late ones in the chat? Harp, I don't think I gave you a call out yet. What's up? Wick589 featuring the BTC Perky Price. He is always doing things with the name, man. Good to have you. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for coming by. All right, so let's get over to the market pulse. Here we go. All right, Friday, August 23rd. That is tomorrow. Fed Chair Powell. He is going to be speaking, so be on the lookout for that. Always look out for a little bit of volatility when he talks. And then durable goods orders month over month is going to be on Monday, the 26th, followed by GDP growth rate. So that is going to be August 29th. So that's definitely a big one. And then, so next week's a pretty big week. You're going to get core PCE price index month over month, personal income month over month, and personal spending month over month. So definitely some important numbers that are going to be coming down next week for sure. So keep an eye on that. That will be interesting. And again, you know, I always give you guys a little bit of a pitch here, but you know what? I think I took it down because I was showing FD's page. Let me see if I go back one. Nope. Yep, that's him.
Hey, who's that guy?
Yeah, I know that guy. Here we go on the struggle bus. But Piper Academy, come on, let's bring it up. Go over and check them out tomorrow on the morning. Actually, I won't be on the morning show tomorrow. I just realized that. Come on over to the morning show. Again, I always tell you guys, Piper is great at breaking down all of this stuff, especially the economics and the macro perspective there. He's really good at that. So if you guys want to get the scoop on what's going to be talked about or what could potentially be talked about or how they'll impact price action, Piper is your dude for that. So that goes at 0930 Eastern Standard Time. Again, go check that out tomorrow. Let's see if I can find my place here. Boom. Over the total market cap. That's sitting at 2.14 trillion. That's down 0.37%. And the market volume over the last 24 hours is at 59.16 billion, which is down 12.69%. Bitcoin dominance currently is at 55.68%, and that is a decrease of 0.45% over the day. So very interesting. Bitcoin seems to be consolidating, and you are seeing some of the altcoins start to move, right? Bitcoin dominance is coming down, altcoins moving up, yet Bitcoin price is kind of steady. So keep an eye on that. Fear and Greed Index, that has taken a bump up. That is at 50. That is neutral. And Bitcoin's current price is sitting at 60,840, which is down 0.2% over 24 hours and up 5.79% over 7 days. Ethereum is number 2, and that is at $2,647, and that's up 0.56% and over 24 hours and up 2.68% over 7 days. Let's go ahead and see what rounds out the top 10. I am now interested in the race between, oh, look who's back in the top 10. I told you they were nipping at the heels, sitting at a market cap of 13,511, and Tron is at 13,509. So there you go, man. It is now a race. It is official. But Cardano is at 37 cents, and that is up 16.29% over 7 days, while Tron is up 19.79% over 7 days. Cool. All right, over to the bubbles. Lots of green on the board. Tao's up 11.3%. AVAX up 9.5%. We talked about that. Jasmine's up 6.4%. Theta's up 7.4%. Haven't talked about Theta in a while. It's been quite some time since I've seen them. A little higher on the percentage there. Maybe I just missed it, but I just feel like I haven't seen it much. Ondo's up 5.3%. Good to see. I think we just talked about that yesterday. Phil's up 6.2%. Render's up 9%. Man, that one got slammed, bro. I put that in my my DCA portfolio. You guys set me up. I gave you an option. You chose Render. That thing is down like 50%. No big deal. I ain't mad. But maybe I'll DCA in a little bit more. All right, so that's a look at the crypto bubbles. Let's get over the liquidation heat map on the 3-day. And what you can see here, liquidity to the downside. All right, so you got some liquidity to the downside here. And now it looks like price action is starting to work its way kind of down and right. It's sitting, about 6,800, we said. So liquidity is really sitting at 58,450. That is kind of the hotter of the two. but it is in the middle, right? It is in the middle, so that one's gonna be tough to say. I would say my bias would be for it to come down and reach that, but what did I say that's at? That's at 58,450. So when we get to the charts, remember that number, 58,450. That's gonna be, you know what? How about this? If you guys are looking at this liquidity heat map, let's just hear what you guys think in the chat. One, if you think Bitcoin's going to go up, or two, if you think it's going to go down and grab this liquidity. Let's see what you guys think in the chat here. Let's see what we got for our TA experts. See how smart you are, and we'll talk about it, I guess, on Monday, or maybe tomorrow morning. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll talk about it. All right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to FD, and he is going to give you guys some fresh TA. Let's get it.
So with Bitcoin, I'm not gonna pull up the chart, but Bitcoin, I mean, it's at what
800, I think.
60,756. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we're above, we're back in that range, that huge range. So we're not bearish. We just had a big move yesterday, and now we're just consolidating above the resistance on top of that support. So that's a good thing. But I do want to backtrack, as you know, if you stayed for the whole show yesterday, when we were about to go off, I said Ando, watch Ando, watch Ando. Today we got the Ando pop. I talked about this downward sloping trend line right before we got off. So we popped up, got the what? The OC retest, breakout retest, and now we passed this yellow line that we had drawn yesterday. So I'm looking at Ando. Like I always say, I like Ando to be accumulated. Anything under 85 cents to me for Ando is cool. So I just wanted to go and backtrack that from yesterday. What's really on my radar right now, a lot of people still aren't talking about, and I think this will still be a huge narrative in the medium term, is like decentralized storage. So we have Arweave. Arweave was one that I was trying to accumulate all bear market. So let's actually go to the daily so we can get a little bit more information. So I even had this drawn off of my community. Anything under here, under this line right here, under about $16 was load the effing truck up time. So when we got that huge dip, we didn't come like we touched this line perfectly. We touched this line perfectly, but we didn't break it. So what I'm looking at right now, I'm not really trying to accumulate anymore. I'm trying to look for trades, because when RWE moves, it moves, as you can see. So I got my Heikenaishi candles on because I'm starting to trade with a little bit different indicators, so I use those to give me a little bit clearer view. We got the 50-day coming down to test that. So if we can hold this area as support, this $22 area, that'll be just our next step up, because we were below it. We were below it. This is on a daily time frame. So look how long we were, just below here, and this was sort of like a bear flag. So to break out of this bear flag is mega bullish in my opinion. So my next step, or my next thing that I'm looking at for our weave, is possibly a rejection of the 50, curl around, hold this as support, and probably, or high probability of hitting our downward sloping trend line with this horizontal also coming in for confluence. Then we have the 100 and the 200 also will probably be curling around there at about $30. So I'm very bullish on our weave, just fundamentally. And I'll be looking at that for my next swing trade for our wave, just depending on how the market moves. I won't expect a move too fast until Bitcoin starts to get back into like the mid 60s, going into the high 60s, and then ultimately breaking that all-time high. So a lot of setups, a lot of altcoins are set up this exact way. They don't, the charts don't look the exact same, but a lot of them have similar setups. They're at similar resistance points, just waiting for Bitcoin to break out. So we all know Bitcoin, moves the market. Bitcoin runs the market. So that's really what we're waiting on. Once Bitcoin, a lot of people saying once Bitcoin breaks all-time highs, is alts are gonna run. I don't think so. I think it's gonna take maybe like high 70s, 80s for us to get like a true start of a alt season, because we had a nice pump from the bottom of the bear market up until May, but or March, April, but we haven't seen like a true face melting altcoin season, because usually altcoin season, they'll run for like 2 weeks to a month, like just up, consolidate, bull flag, up, ascending triangle, up. We talked about these three patterns yesterday or the day before. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm just, like I said, watching Bitcoin and watching some of my favorite alts, and definitely some of the ones I know make major moves during altcoin runs. So this is one of them.
Awesome, awesome. So Retro Mike Tech, he said, I only go off on Cass if at Amy Lives Crypto is there so I can see her live facial expressions or reaction. So, all right, well, maybe we'll figure out a way. Uh, we'll have to get you on the morning show because I don't have it set up for 4 people, but we can probably get you
Yeah,
guys on the morning show, and that way we can do like
yeah.
a big video there together.
E
That'll be
Eric
fun.
Wallen Eric Wallen, chimed in and said, "It depends on if the stock market craters." I guess he's talking about what I just my analysis, and I definitely agree. I definitely agree. If the stock market goes to, you know, goes down significantly, I don't see crypto in the beginning just out, going the opposite way. I think crypto will probably detach itself sometime, but I don't think it'll be like at the start. I think if the stock market rolls over, crypto will roll over too. So I definitely agree. But then I think at some point it will detach and then, you know, go from there.
So my passive freedom, what's up? How you doing? He says 61,100. Is that where you think it's going in like the near term? Let me know in the chat, man. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and bring up I got some TA. We'll just be real quick because Bitcoin, we've already talked about what we're seeing on Bitcoin probably the past few shows, and it really hasn't changed much. We keep retesting this resistance right here at 61,842. And then we still have this ascending trend line that's going up and right, and it's still respecting that as support. So that's where we're at. We really haven't changed, over the past few days. It just bounces, goes up, tests resistance, gets rejected. But you are seeing, quite a few tests of that resistance level. I do think a lot of times with seeing this, the RSI and the prime oscillator continuing its trajectory up and right, it's showing strength, right? It's showing strength going into this. I would say my bias would be, and for an ascending triangle, technically the bias or the probability would be for it to break to the upside. That's just the statistical probability, right? So that's what I would look for. But we've kind of talked about it. Would I go long here? No, you're at resistance. Like why? Why take the risk when you can just wait for it to break? Wait for it to break resistance. I personally, when I'm looking for a scalp or an intraday type trade, I like to see the retest before continuation to the upside. So that being said, that's probably what I would look for in this move. And you're just going to continue to watch the RSI or the prime oscillator keep working its way up and right, and that'll make you feel more comfortable about getting into that position. Where do I think it's going to go if it continues up and right? Well, the point of control, and we've talked about that and how important that is. The point of control is at 66,900 or so. We'll call it 67. But you can see where it's very, very clearly support and resistance throughout this range. All right. So you can see resistance, resistance, support, 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 breakdown, retest, and a big breakdown. That lets you know it's a key level. Okay. That's one of my key components of saying, where am I going to draw this line? Well, that's one of the things I like to see. Retest with a breakdown or vice versa, retest with a big pump. All right. That kind of lets you know that this area is a significant area. So keep those areas, I'll say on your radar. But support level, we did talk about this area too, around 56,000. I would set an alert there as well. You'll probably see some price action if price does break down and actually retest that area. So again, that's kind of your key levels right now. Nothing has really changed. All right. Like I said, I think that the bias would be to the upside right now, given the current setup. All right,
Mhm.
so that is Bitcoin. Let's get over to AVAX real quick. And I want you to take a zoomed out look because that's all you can really do right now. It's kind of hard to do something on TA on something like this when it does like a breakout like this, right? Because everyone's like, well, where's it going to go? Well, I don't know where people are going to start the sell off, or take profits. But if we zoom out a little bit and we start looking at it, you can look at around $30.60. I think is a very logical area. Why do I think that's a logical area? And this is why I say zoom out. Look at how many times it touched this area as support before we had the breakdown with a retest and then a bigger breakdown, right? So keep that area highlighted. I would probably set an alert. That's where I would look to, for some resistance or a rejection. Now, you can find intermediate steps within here. Yes, I got it. But we're taking a more zoomed out. We're cleaning up the charts. We're like, hey, where can this really go? More of I'm not going to say a longer time frame, but kind of a medium time frame, right? Who even knows what I mean by medium? But in the next like 24 hours or 48 hours is not, in my mind, going to go to $30. But I would say that's definitely within reason. and what aligns with that? Where can we find some confluence? Well, you find some confluence here with the dynamic reactor that is trending down and right. I am starting to anticipate, hey, we might be, flipping the trend a little bit. And I did say when it broke this area right here at 22.7, that would kind of be my line to say, hey, we're getting indications of reversal, and it just took off. But now we have the news narrative on top of it. So I think $30 is a very realistic price point for AVAX right now. If it does pull back, then I would be looking for support on this red line. So this red line is now going to be green, all right? Because that's what I do with my support areas. And that'll kind of cue me in that when we come back down, if we come back down and retest this area, that could be an opportunity for a long position. And again, what you want to come down to is the prime oscillator, the RSI, and make sure that you still have that momentum kind of going up and right, showing you the strength with that second touch of support. All right, getting over the chat here. We got some Piper Academy memberships. Retro Mike Tech is always doing it right. And it looks like Black Ice 710 was gifted a membership. Mike, thank you very, very much, man. We appreciate you. Your generosity is very appreciated. Again, we're going to get you on the show, man, and it'll be really cool to talk shop with you. That'll be dope. Caffeinated Crypto also gifted a Piper Academy membership. Thank you so much. I've been seeing you a lot recently. It's like, I feel like everywhere I go, I see Caffeinated Crypto on some of the shows, man. Always says what's up. So super, super cool. Thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you guys. Honestly, like, I know it's money, it's hard-earned money. So we appreciate you guys for gifting those memberships. And it looks like Gary S was gifted a membership. So if you guys just got a membership, get over to the Discord, come on over. We do have some, special sections within the Discord that are for members only, and there are some advantages to being a member. So come on over. Who else we got in the chat here? Bad Fox, so bullish. And she said, "What's up to Alexandria?" Bad Fox, I don't know if I've seen you here before. What's up? How you doing? Who else we had? Anyone? Flat Smack. I don't think I've given you a call out yet either. So just want to say what's up.
I like
How
that
you
name,
doing?
Flat Smack.
Yeah.
Some cool names, man. Flat
Yeah.
Smack, Bad Fox. Like
There
you guys,
it is.
welcome to the channel. Welcome.
There it is. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I love it, man. We're growing, seeing some new people in the chat, man. I love that. All right.
I love to see new people, man. Just hope we can live up to your expectations, man. We can get a little bit of minutes out of your day, man. Your hard working day. We just come and just try to, have a little bit of fun and give some alpha at the same time. So welcome.
That's it, man. I saw the chat yesterday, man. They were talking about the vibe, and that's one thing I really love. I think me and FD, we have a nice I'm not gonna say flow, but like it's just the chemistry I think is good. I think the chemistry is
Yeah.
good. There you go.
Yeah.
So cool. I'm gonna pass it back over to you. You got anything else on the charts here you want to look at?
I got two things. I was just like while you were doing your AVAX, I was looking and I basically can't have the same levels drawn up around 29 to $30. If we had this downward sloping trend line, seems like we might be peeking our head out depending on how you draw it. But I see we just got above the 50-day, so the 200, the 100 is like you said right around that 29 to $30 area, and then this is like macro support resistance of macro SR flip. So I'll be looking at $30 coming, like we said, if the market can stay somewhat bullish, I'll be looking at that. And then I wanted to bring this up. This is Forrest, my guy Forrest over at Sistine Research. Make sure if you're not following him, to give him a follow. He was saying that Trump is the reason the market goes up or down. He had an actual chart. I don't know if he probably put this chart up because it's his logo at the bottom. So he gave a description because he's very bullish on a meme coin called Trump, which I must admit, in November or October of 2023, he did tell everybody to buy it at 25 cents, and then it went up to like $16. So I will give him kudos for that. But he came up with a chart showing just the different things. He's saying that Trump is actually running the market right now. He has Trump winning
You have that
primaries. We
chart?
have a pump. Oh, I'm not sharing. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Okay.
So he has Trump winning primaries. We see the expansion of Bitcoin, Super Tuesday win for Trump. Then we have Trump odds steadily rising. So every time, something good happens with Trump, it seems like the market pumps, and then something that, Trump odds spike on felony conviction, something goes down, Biden career ended by, it's just he's just correlating what's going on. Her odds peak and Trump odds bottom, and now the market is starting to go up. So this is an interesting analysis, I thought. Coming from a very smart guy. He's a very smart dude. I've been watching for a long time. So that's the only reason I brought it up. So I'll be looking at this now. This is on my radar now. So I'll be looking at how what happens during the last few months, because that's when things are gonna get crazy. That's when things are gonna get crazy, because it seems like, let's just be honest, not the whole, but the majority of the more vocal crypto people are voting for Trump. And we're voting, or everybody's voting for Trump because of our bags. Like, that's really it. A lot of people are single issue voters in this crypto. So I'm looking at this chart, and I'm, formulating my own thesis from it, and then seeing how it correlates going into the election. And if this is, his thesis does, come out true, then the results will definitely have either a detrimental or a great effect on the Bitcoin price. So I try to take all different type of analysis and try to formulate something from everybody's analysis, especially some of the smarter people that I look up to, or I look to in the space, and just put it on everybody's radar if you wanted to look at this. And what do you think about it? Do you think he's his actions, or his what's going on with his election odds or whatnot, are moving the market? So that's something
A
I
hundred
really like
percent,
to.
dude. 100%. Like that's why we cover the news. Like that's why we
Yep.
talk about the news, because it directly correlates to price action. Like
Yep.
not all the time, but like you will see price move based on significant events that happen. And it like if if Trump gets in as the president, like you said, people will have some people are voting for him just because of the crypto aspect, but like it's going to be
Yep.
bullish for crypto. It's
Yeah.
period. Period. Like there's
Yeah.
no arguments about that. You're
Mhm.
probably going to see an initial little bump on price just based on Trump getting in office if he does. So
Mhm.
that I 100% believe in it. And like, there are a lot of people that like they definitely vote based on like what is convenient for them, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
military, you will see a high percentage of military, and I'm not saying all of them, but I would say generally a high percentage are more conservative, because that directly correlates to money flowing into the military, right? It's just the
Yeah.
way it works. So like you'll
True.
see that a lot, and then it depends on if you feel like Trump did a good job with the economy, then that might sway your vote, right? If you're a small business owner, a lot of times small business owners side with a little more conservative, or have a little more conservative philosophy, right? Because
Mhm.
there's definitely been some times where, in the past, I won't say names, not gonna like, call outs, but they brought in legislation that was very detrimental to some small business. They kind of wrecked small businesses at one point.
True.
I'd say, I don't know, probably like 7, 8, maybe it might be like 10 years now at this point. But there's just things, and there's reason to each their own. I do what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But like I'm I guess selfish in a way, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna vote what's gonna be better for me and my family, and
Exactly. Yeah. You
like
got to.
that's
You
just
got
what it
to.
comes
Yeah.
down to. Like so,
I gotta, yeah. Before we get out of here, man, I do have, we're not gonna be back until Monday, so I want to give the people something to ponder with over the weekend, man. Like, a lot,
what you got?
the entities, the big player, the big people, the powers that be, man, they want us fighting. They want us fighting. And as we're fighting, we're not going to pay attention to all the deceit, all the lies, all the problems that they have caused. So they love this. They love to see the fighting. They love to see everybody going back and forth, the masses going back and forth. They love all of this because it keeps the attention away from them. So, you can vote for whoever you want to vote for your single issue candidates, if you want, just if it's crypto, whatever it is. But all the hate and all and everything else, man, is we really need to focus our attention on them, because we wouldn't be in a predicament if they wouldn't have done what they done to the economy, to the monetary system, fiscal policy, monetary policy, just everything. It's really them. So they're trying to push the agenda and do everything so we can keep fighting. But I
We're
know
too
who the real
focused on
enemy
each
is.
other,
Yeah,
getting mad at each
exactly.
other,
Exactly.
and yeah, it's
You
banana
just do
land.
your research on the fall of Rome. I'm not saying America is gonna fall, because we're too strong right now to fall, but just do your research and due diligence on the fall of Rome. They kept the people's bellies full, and then they kept them in the coliseums watching sports and doing all that. Nothing wrong with that, but that just kept them not focused on the real problem. So that's, I just hope, people really open their eyes and really, ponder upon that and use critical thinking as opposed to just going off of what the mainstream media what they're putting out.
Yeah, dude. It's interesting times, man. I think we
Very.
just need some strong leadership, but like I just don't know like how I feel like people get into those positions where like they are the candidate and I'm like, I had no say so in that. I thought that was the whole idea of this is that I get a say so, like,
Right. Yeah.
and that's what bothers me sometimes because if it came down to it, I think like we need a strong leader that is not divisive, that's going to
Hmm.
bring some unity here. And hey, like let's all come together. Let's really hear the voice of the people and kind of push in the same direction. And like I hate the fact that Trump came up with the make America great again because it's like I feel like a candy butt when I say it, but like I want to say that without the context of him. It's not that I don't dislike Trump or anything. It's just I want to say make America great again because we at one point were the dominant world power and we were what everyone aspired to be and we're
Hmm.
losing that. And I want to get
Yeah.
back to that, but I think it's going to take good leadership and somebody that's like just has a different demeanor. Like we can't have a retired guy and another guy that's very divisive. We need somebody that's really going to bring the people together. And here we go, political. That is not the intent of the show. I'm so
No,
sorry.
no, no. My
But
my whole my whole thing was just coming from a place of love, man.
yeah,
I want my bags pumped. Don't get me wrong. Whoever's gonna
that'll be
get in there
lovely.
and pump my bags, that's what I'm really I'm really
Yeah,
focused on because at the end of the day, we're in crypto because we want our bags pumped. Like we love the tech. Ooh, whoop de doo. We love the tech, but we want to pump our bags. So who's gonna get in there and pump our bags, and then we can go from there.
because we'll
Crypto
be happy
Nightcap will
then,
be
huh?
here Monday through Thursday looking to see who's pumping our bags.
Right on, right on. Let's see a little bit of the chat here because I think a couple things got dropped. All right. My passive freedom. U.S. stock market is oversaturated, to be honest. Hope for some healthy midterm pullback soon. I mean, there was a little bit of a correction, but now it's starting to bounce back up again. But yeah, I agree, man. Like anytime anything gets to an all-time high, I'm already sketch. Like the minute, they're like S&P 500 all-time high, NASDAQ all-time high, Bitcoin all-time high. I'm like, yep, yep, there's got to be a pullback. There's got to be a cool off. There's got to be a correction. And I think we're due. Just TBD, man. I don't really
Yeah,
know. Like to be perfectly frank with you, like with all the inflation stuff and where we're really at with inflation, like it's kind of wild to me how the market is still continued to pump. Like that kind of blows my mind because it's like people have less disposable income, right? That's really what it comes down to. Like the inflation,
yeah,
you're gonna have less disposable income. Yet people, I think, have said, okay, well, I'm just gonna cut the fat. Like I'm gonna trim it out, and like I'm just gonna take what money I got left, and I'm still just gonna keep putting it in the market. It almost like
yeah.
people have started using it as like a safe haven, which is
I know why
very
the market is going up. I definitely know why
yeah. Let's
it
hear
keeps
it.
going up. Number one,
School
because
me.
it's just so heavy on a few stocks. So the hedge
Well,
funds,
yeah,
all the big players and stuff, they're looking for safety. And if everybody's just going to a few stocks, then those stocks are going to go up. And those stocks are so heavily weighted into the S&P and the Nasdaq. It's just going to continue to bring them higher as well. So I don't think because retail, of course, the stock market is just rigged to go up over time, like with jobs, like your 401k. It's just a game. It's just a game. You know the game. You learn the game, you can play the game. So of course it's just gonna keep going up as people work. It's just gonna automatically keep going into these equities and keep going into these ETFs and whatnot. But if you do your research on like the 1929, the Roaring Twenties, and then when we got 2008 financial crisis, like we were doing the same thing, all time highs. The markets was going crazy. Everybody was getting money, and then boom, you know, I don't think we're just gonna crater like that. We got too many safety valves,
yeah.
so to say, in the system now. But same thing happened back in the day. So
Well,
I'm always
the
keeping my eye open. So it's just one of them
we
things where
know
you
the
got to be.
leadership is invested, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah. So
market, they
yeah.
ain't gonna let that market go,
Oh yeah,
cause
Whatever Nancy Pelosi's doing, that's
yeah.
my guy. She's my North Star, Nancy Pelosi. So
She's the North Star.
whatever she's doing and a couple of those other people in office and Congress is doing, then I'm keeping my eye out on that. When they start to take their money out and do stuff, I know something is wrong.
Yeah, right on. Let's see what else we got here. Bad Fox, divide and conquer. Right? Seems to me most people actually don't hate each other without the rhetoric.
True.
I don't think you're wrong, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think you're definitely onto something there. A lot of the issues we have, that comes through the media. I truly believe that. And there's a show, not a show, but there's a clip that I saw on YouTube, and it was basically showing all of the different news places, whatever you call them. All right, and they were all saying the same exact thing. Literally, it went on for like 4 or 5 minutes, and it was like
Mhm.
same line, same line, same line, same line, same line, over and over and over again. I was like, hold up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was about the economy. So it was like
Yeah.
they were
Like a script.
trying, yeah, it was a script, but they all had the same script. And this was like it was like comical how many people were saying the same thing. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like they really are trying to fill our heads with like something. Like they're working it, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's real interesting. And you saw that, especially when they had the whole COVID thing, right? I mean, that's
Mhm.
all you saw on the news. Every single
Yeah.
one of them was saying the same darn thing, and it's very interesting how influential the media is. It's scary, to be honest.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna leave the community with this, man. And then I really got to get out of here. So if you don't know, I went on a 5-month trip overseas in Asia. So growing up, all the TV, every time I, watch something, we get these preconceived stereotypes as to how people are in different parts of the world. Let me tell you, I met people from Russia. I met people from Ukraine that were talking and laughing together over in Thailand. I met people from Thailand. I met people in Dubai from all over the world. I met people in Malaysia from all over the world. And just know it's the governments that hate each other. It's not the people. If you're open minded and the people are open minded and you really get to know people and you really get to talk to people, you'll see it's the government and the propaganda that is giving you all this nonsense, and it's not the people. I met some of the nicest people from Russia. Like anytime we think of Russia, we think of bad guys on movies. Like, oh, and they're the bad guys in movies trying to blow up something. Hope we don't get demonetized, but that's just what it is. But then when you go to these different places and you meet these different people, man, some of the nicest people I've ever met, some of the, just some of the nicest people, and it was just I was mind blown because I was just so brainwashed to think, one way about a certain culture or a certain people. So open your minds up, think for yourself, man. Critical thinking. You can critical think, you'll be ahead of 95% of most people.
All right, you guys come for the crypto, stay for the conversation. Sorry about that. My
Right, yeah.
passive freedom said, anyways, good job, guys. Appreciate that. Our duty is to take opportunities to change our lives and others. Cheers. Cheers to you, my friend. Cheers to all of you. We truly appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by and listening to us ramble a little bit and get your crypto alpha at the same time. So if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead, hit that like and subscribe. We would truly appreciate that. And we are going to get out of here. You guys have a great weekend. We will see you Monday.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yeah, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go.